like this. So she pulled him off the farm, and he went to work at a manufacturing facility where our lives became eminently better. We lived next door to a doctor, the only African-American doctor in the city of Tupelo. And from seeing absolutely nothing, seeing absolutely no levels of success, to being thrust next to a very, very successful family, it changed our outcome. Because my mother's dream, she could now see it. She could dream the dream, and she could see the future, but she didn't really know what the future looked like. So when we moved next to Dr. James and Elaine Neely, she saw what she was talking about. And she said, this is what my children will do. And I can tell you that there are 9 of us. Only 1 of us didn't go to college. All the rest of us are in professional capacities, leading organizations. Some of them got a little bit older and have retired and made me jealous, but they were educators. 5 out of 9 members of my family were educators. And when I call them on the phone now, they don't want to talk about the weather. They don't want to talk about anything other than the state of education. Because once an educator, always an educator. And so I tell you my personal story to let you know that it doesn't matter where you start, folks. It matters where you finish. This kid who had self-esteem problems as a little child, this kid who didn't know that he could succeed because he had not seen success, went on to be the editor of the Clarion Ledger, the statewide newspaper, for almost 12 years. This kid who never saw really any measure of success is now the director of Mississippi Public Broadcasting, a statewide agency that reaches every household in Mississippi. Yet we find ourselves here today, gathered again, gathered together to talk about the future of education and how we can impact the dropout rate. You know, I'm proud to say that MPB is one of 33 stations in the country to have received grant funds from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting for this very purpose, to help prevent the dropout problem. And you know, for many, that might be cause of celebration. But the underlying reason for the money really kind of frustrates me. Here we are in 2014, assembled yet again to talk about a subject that we've been unable to solve. Mississippi is my home. You know, my friend Dolphus Weary wrote a book called I Ain't Never Coming Back. And Dolphus's story was my story. I left Mississippi in 1986 with the intention of never, ever darkening the doors of any part of Mississippi except to come to see my father. But yet, I reached a certain age and I said, you know what? You're part of the problem. You left the state of Mississippi, and you know you have skills, and you know you have a heart for the state. So when I got a call to be the editor of the Hattiesburg American back in 1994, I didn't think we were coming back home. I asked my wife, I said, sweetheart, this decision is up to you. But, you know, I really, truly don't want to go. And when I presented that to her, she said, I want to go see my mommy. And the rest was history. We came back home and we saw her mommy, and we've been around, in and around Mississippi ever since. I was born here. I was raised here, but I am absolutely grown weary of the vicious dropout cycle that we have. We have incredibly bright minds here in Mississippi. I don't care what anyone says. I take offense when I hear people say we don't have dedicated teachers. My young son, who is all of 23 years old, I talked to him last night. It was 11 o'clock at night, and he was still working on lesson plans for the week for his students. He is in a school district that has a 100% free lunch menu. He was approached by one of the basketball players a few weeks ago and said, "Mr. Agnew, I don't have the money to buy shoes to be on this team. Mr. Agnew, can you help me?" Those are the kinds of people that we are facing in our classroom. But we can continue to struggle in this area. We can continue to drop our heads in shame. We can continue to occupy the bottom of the list of every metric that the Department of Education on the national level puts out, or we can pick ourselves up. Early this year, it was announced that Mississippi graduation rate had climbed above 75% for the first time since 2007. That put our dropout rate at 13.9%. And we all applauded the good news, the great progress that we had seen. But beneath the numbers is another hard truth. At least 30 high schools in Mississippi, and possibly more, I suspect that there are more, are graduating fewer than 60% of the students. Some of those schools sit right here in the metro area. So I have a question. 6 are graduating. What's going on with the other 4 who are not? Are they victims of the system? Are we having to float them with our tax dollars? Where are these people? They're the invisible people that we don't know. But I do know this. They're costing us money, and they're costing us things in ways that we can't even imagine. The problem is especially acute among black males. I talked to Tony Kirsch yesterday from the Mississippi Department of Education. And she told me, "Ronnie, among black males for the year 2012-2013, which is the most recent statistics compiled, black African-American males dropped out at a rate of 22%, compared to 11.7% for white males. That same school year, African-American females dropped out at a rate of 12.8%, compared to 7.9% for white males. As I said before, we can wallow in pity. We can throw our hands up in the air in disgust, or we can do what we are doing today. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are fighting back. Today, we are taking control of the problem and not simply sitting behind a desk wondering what went wrong. At MPB, our education team won't give up on any kid, and neither will our many partners that we have in this room. Now, we know that we have a task ahead. Many of the kids we serve are coming from incredible homes where they've been rejected by parents and loved ones. In such circumstances, we know that the odds of success are nearly impossible. Mississippi may not be one of the richest states in the country, but I tell you this, one would be hard-pressed to find a state with more people willing to lend a hand. We are the most generous people that I have ever encountered. At an elementary school right here in Jackson, cafeteria workers pack dinner meals for the students because they know that there won't be food on the dinner table when they get home. The Junior League, which is a very respected civic group in town, they send backpacks home with children filled with food in order for the kids to have something to eat for the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very complex problem. It does not end when a student decides to drop out of high school. It is my belief that the process of dropping out starts much sooner, in the early grades, when students don't have the support, don't have the drive, don't have the doggone kick in the pants they need to pick themselves up off the ground and put themselves on a path to success. If Charlie and Bernie Agnew can take us from not having running water, can take us from the absolute throes of poverty and take us out of it and put us in a position to not only live, but to exceed and to excel. I have an older brother right now. My older brother is Larry. He's 58 years old. He can retire today as a teacher. He's got almost 40 years in the system. So Larry, why don't you go? He tells me the kids need me. I won't go because the kids need me. You know, it's been reported that the loss of income from people who drop out is a number that's staggering, about $4 billion annually. And it costs about $18,000 to $20,000 to incarcerate prisoners. But I know that that's not the end of the story. In the past 2 years, MPB has trained nearly 100 high school students on using video stories to highlight the importance of remaining in school. We have taught the students to be ambassadors in their own schools because there is one thing that we all know as parents: kids listen to each other, really, before they listen to us. And I got kids, and I got to tell you, that's a true fact. And I got to tell you this, too. Have y'all ever been at dinner table with your kids, and all y'all do, they got their phones out, and they're not talking to you, they just texting everybody, and you say, whatever happened to the good old-fashioned conversation where we could talk about school and everything? Well, in my house, rule number one is put the gadgets aside and let's have a talk. Each year, I'm so impressed with the efforts underway to stop the Dropout Prevention Conference. And it is a crisis, a dropout crisis, I should say. And it is a crisis. Yet I am very encouraged that we're trying to break the cycle. I truly believe educators are doing all they can to help solve this problem. I've seen the commitment, and through my very own family, I have learned just how complex this is. My 82-year-old mother-in-law is the president of the Oprah Winfrey Boys and Girls Club, where she spends hours every day working with students, mentoring students, taking students on college visits, trying to give them every opportunity to succeed. I am so heartened by what the Superintendent of Education, Carrie Wright, is doing in the area of early childhood education. She has it right. We've lost a lot of kids on the upper end, but what her strategy has been, and I think it's a very smart strategy, is let's start early. Let's get to these kids when they're 3 and 4 and 5 and years old. Let's make sure that they are reading by the time they reach third grade. In Mississippi, folks, we have to treat this seriously. I don't want to come back to next year's Stop the Drop and say the same words, write the same speech. This is a new speech, actually, and I actually read it. I usually don't. I'm tired of our bottom ranking in education. We have placed a Band-Aid on this problem when we are in need of a strategy. What we are in need of are people who are on the same page, where we're not duplicating efforts, where we're working together for the common good, and the common good are our kids. I was talking to Tony Kirsch yesterday, and I was telling her about my son's open house at the school. They have 250 students in that open house. 9 parents showed up. The next week they had a basketball game, and the gym was full. And she told me, she said, Ronnie, we have got to reinvent the way we reach our parents. So why not at halftime, instead of having our cheerleaders go out there and do a dance, why not reach them where we are and get that microphone and have a PTO meeting, a PTA meeting right there at the ball game? We have to do non-traditional things to reach these parents and to put them, to let them know that we can do so much for them. The parents, the teachers can do so much. They are not social workers, but they are often thrust into the position of having to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired of being on the bottom. I didn't come to Mississippi back to be on the bottom. I didn't come to Mississippi to read about at Forbes magazine that this is one of the toughest places to live. I didn't come back here to see that the Wall Street Journal ranks Mississippi as one of the lowest places to live in terms of income development and economic development. I didn't come to Mississippi to fail. I came to Mississippi to make a difference. You know, sometimes you just have to take a stand. Sometimes you have to say, you know, this is the right thing to do. And when I got here, you know, I'll be honest with you, I was on that career track where I said I'll do 5 years in Mississippi and I'll go on and I'll make my little riches and I will be, you know, my little family will live happily ever after. But something happened along the way. And I don't know how many people believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, but I happen to do it. And I'm sorry, you believe in something, so you just have to take your God. But he spoke to me and he told me, no, your job is in Mississippi. You're needed here. You're needed here. You're needed at the Clarion Ledger. You're needed in the many civic organizations to which you belong. Your voice is needed. You're needed at Mississippi Public Broadcasting. And I got to tell you that I was at the doctor's office last week fighting this thing that Maggie doesn't care about, Maggie Stevenson. She told me that if she had to prop me up on the stage, she was going to have me speak today. Maggie, where are you? Shame on you. But I'm actually really happy that she did because you know, she knows that this is my passion. So I go to the doctor's office, and he says, you don't know any of us in here, but we know all of you. But we know you. And as I was exiting the building, he told me, you make us all feel better. He says, I know it can't be easy for you, but you and your team at Mississippi Public Broadcasting and what you do, you make us all better. And I got to tell you, that prescription he wrote me for antibiotics, I didn't want to feel it because after that, I was healed. All I needed to know from him, I mean, he truly made me feel important. He made me feel, sometimes you're in the trenches and you don't know that anybody cares. You don't know if anybody notices. But I got to tell you that there are people who are watching you. Everything you do, they watch you. Everything you do. We're all role models in our own right. You know, we have Miss Mississippi here, Jasmine Mary. Jasmine, stand up for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, get this girl a home. Get his hand. Let me tell you. I've been around a lot of people in my day. A lot of people. I've been around a lot of young people in my day. I'm hard-pressed to find someone as impressive as Jasmine. She has a heart for Mississippi. And everywhere she goes, and anything that she will do, here and elsewhere, I know that she will never leave her roots in Columbus, Mississippi. She will take it with her every single place she goes. I've had the opportunity to spend time with her, and now I know her heart. And this is what it's going to take. It's going to take Jasmine, but it's also going to take you. It's going to take you bucking the trend. It's going to take you not yielding to peer pressure at your schools when folks are trying to get you to do the wrong things. I have children. I'm not guessing about how this happens. I'm telling you what happens. I'm telling you that I can teach my kids at home the right way to do things, but I do understand the influence that they have outside of me and my wife of 28 years, actually. We poured everything we have into our kids, but we also know there's a great big outside world out there that's tugging at them and trying to get them to do things to get them off course. I'm telling you, folks, and I'm drawing to a close because Maggie gave me 15 minutes, and I think I took 20. She doesn't care. She knows better. But I will close by saying this is a very important meeting for us. not an exercise. We have plenty to do. You don't know the week that we just had. We don't know the month that we just had. We had a team to go to Oxford just the other day for a fundraiser around one of the PBS's most popular programs that was absolutely sold out. So we got people here who are basically operating on fumes. They're tired. But because they see the importance of what we do, they see the importance of the work. And Lord knows we've worn Jasmine out the last 3 days. But she's done it with a smile on her face, and I cannot be more. I'm just very appreciative. But I got to tell you, we're here because we're tired, folks. We're weary. We want to help. We want to partner with people who can make a difference. But we're not tired of the fight. We're tired of the results. We're going to continue to fight. I will never give up. I will never give up. My mama she died at 54 years old. Because basically she didn't have any access to health care. She had 9 children, all by natural childbirth. I was delivered by my aunt at home. I never went to a hospital a day in my life. But she taught us that all we had, our only chance, was an education. She taught us. I'll never forget when I was in the 10th grade, and this is my 4th close. Baptist preachers take 10. I'm taking 4. I'll never forget when she told me, "You're different. You're different. We've created you to be different. We've created you to make a difference in your city and everywhere you go. But we also have created you to reach back, to bring other kids up with along the way." So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, this is no joke for me. Kids, and there's a lot of you out there, do not yield to temptation. Do not yield to peer pressure. Listen to your parents. Listen to your teachers. We need you. Mississippi needs you. Mississippi needs you in ways that you can never imagine. And so I leave you with this. I leave you with the challenge of, please, for me, for my family, for Phil Hardwick, who's here, for the Mississippi Department of Education representatives who are here, for the consultants who are here, for all our vendors who are here. They are not here by accident. They're here to help you. And so are we. I'm proud that you showed up today. Your presence warms my heart. And I am so proud to know that a guy who has been battling bronchitis all week, who went to bed at 4 o'clock this morning, is able to deliver a speech to you today because I love you. And I want to see you succeed. I want to see you take leadership roles. I want to see you rise to the top. And I want to see you help make Mississippi great. Maggie, is that good enough?
Yes, sir.
By the way, I want to tell you that Maggie Stevenson, who has been with MPB for 9 years now, was promoted this week to be the director of our education initiatives. And I'm so proud to have her in that capacity. And before she pulls the hook and pulls me off the stage, I now turn it over to her. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ronnie, and good morning to everybody. I heard a lot of the things that Ronnie was talking about, but how many of you all believe that the people in this room can make a difference and change that? I think we can do a lot better than that. How many of you all believe that? So as we bring our Can I Kick It students up, and I know that our colleagues from around the nation, from 32 other stations, and also the Corporation for Public Broadcasting are tuning in on our live stream. So if we could just kind of shout out for them a great big "Let's Make It Happen." Can you do that for me? So I'll count it down on the count of 3. Let's make it happen. 1, 2, 3. That's for all of our colleagues around the nation who are tuning into this conversation. Also, if you have a cell phone, an iPad device, or some type of mobile tablet, if you would use it during this conversation today, we're using the hashtag on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram of MPB AmGrad. That's AMGRAD. MPB AmGrad. Please use that hashtag to continue the conversation, especially for those who are not able to be with us on today. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Deanna Jenkins, who's the coordinator for our Can I Kick It program, and she'll tell you more about the impact that we've been able to have with students from around the state as it relates to our youth engagement initiatives. Let's receive her at this time.
Good morning. We're going to get you back on time, so I'm only going to read what I wrote down, okay? Again, I'm Deanna Jenkins, the coordinator for the Can I Kick It crew in the Summer Institute at Mississippi Public Broadcasting, MPB. As part of the crew, in our summer camp, we train, MPB staff train the Can I Kick crew members of our institute on film production, digital literacy, storytelling, and leadership development to create film pieces that will appeal to their peers. The students tell their own stories and present their solutions to the struggles and triumph that they face in today's society. They give a voice to their generation. Today we have some students from Merle who has participated in 3, and we have only had 3 summer camps at Mississippi Public Broadcasting. Rakadrian from Callaway. Can you everybody give Rakadrian a hand? MPB held its first Can I Kick It Youth Movement Through Media Institute in 2012. And today, as of the summer 2014, the students, along with MPB, have produced 21 short films. They have been shown. They have been shown around the state of Mississippi. Today, it will be a thank you gift to everyone who attend the summit. We have a film. We were scheduled to show 2, but we will only show you 1 so we can get back on track today. These films the students wrote, edited, produced, all with the guidance of a mentor. The one we'll show you today is God Education. I know you might be wondering why we let those critics roll, but when you put your time and your passion into a film, that's the most important thing they want to see, they name rolling across that stream. So I know you all wondering, how can I be a part of it? MPB opened this up to everyone across, every high schooler across the state of Mississippi. It is held at MPB, and it's 9 to 3, Monday through Friday. There are no overnight stays. So therefore, most of the time, our students are local because they can they can commute back and forth to the camp. So if you are interested in being a part and cannot attend the Summer Institute, please contact me, Deanna Jenkins. We will talk later, and I will meet each and every one of you, because you can set up a crew in your high school. And you can have town hall meetings. These films have been shown at town hall meetings to legislators. They've been in national competitions. Mississippi Art Commission saw one of the films, and it was about taking the arts out of school and what that means to students. They wrote it. They came to MPB. They asked, can they show it? And they actually have that film, and that's what they use as a tool to let legislators and lawmakers know that this is important to students, and this is their message, and it's coming directly from the students. So we hope that everyone, if you're in a school district or you're a student, please think about getting a Can I Kick It crew project at your school. Now I have Jada Bell to just tell you, it's not all about filmmaking, because we give them the opportunity, we open them up to something that they may not have been exposed to. So Jada Bell will tell you shortly what happened with her experience at MPB and what it have led to.
Good morning. My name is Jada Bell. I attend Murrah High School. I'm a sophomore, and I am also a theater student at Power APAC. I would like for all the MPB staff to stand, and the people that help out with Can I Kick It, please, if you don't mind. This one. Please give them a round of applause. This summer was my first summer at Can I Kick It. It was a great experience. We learned a lot of things, not only with cameras, but just leadership and how to work with others. And it also led to training me for now. I am producing my own local TV show, The Jada Bell Project, with PEG TV, which will be airing in January. So please be looking out for that. I will be promoting that. But I just want to thank them for that, because I wouldn't be able to have this opportunity without them. So yeah.
So can I kick it?
Can we kick it? Can we kick it? Yes, we can.
Thank you.
Can we give them a great round of applause? The awesome job, and I didn't realize that Jada was about to have her own TV show, so kudos to her for making those strides as it relates to education, her own personal development. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you Jay Moon, who is the president and CEO of the Mississippi Manufacturers Association. He will be coming at this time with opening remarks.
Well, good morning to everybody. Let's try that again. Good morning to everybody. All right, nice to be here today. I want to thank Mississippi Public Broadcasting not only for inviting me to be here today, but also for this effort. It is an extremely important effort, and one of the most important that I can think of in terms of developing our state's economy and creating an opportunity for our communities and our citizens to be able to have the life that we all want them to have. I'm here today to talk about the dropout rate and its impact on the business community, and why we need young men and women to finish high school and to become productive citizens in our economy today. And I'm going to talk about it from two different perspectives. One, from the perspective that I work on a daily basis, working with over 2,200 manufacturers in the state of Mississippi. My background is in economic development. I was the deputy director with the Mississippi Development Authority and worked on a lot of projects in the state, such as Nissan and others, to bring into the state. The number one issue in economic development today in the United States, and certainly here in Mississippi, is workforce. And workforce is finding it increasingly difficult to find people that have the skills that they need. In recent surveys that we've conducted and that have been conducted around the United States, 80% of executives report a moderate to severe shortage of highly skilled workers. 75% of executives report a moderate to severe shortage of skilled workers. And 61% say it's difficult to hire skilled people that they need. And the projection is that 50% of them plan to increase production. So they can't find the people that they need right now. They can't find individuals with the skills, and yet they know they're going to be increasing their activities. So where are the people going to come from? It's important for us to understand that manufacturing as a sector of the economy is very important for Mississippi. 12% of all of the jobs in the state are in manufacturing. These are great paying jobs, all right? Jobs that pay well, have good benefits for the employees and their families. But manufacturing is changing. It's now called advanced manufacturing. It requires a lot more skill, a lot more capability. It requires individuals who go to work in manufacturing today to not just have the skills they need, but also to have communication skills, an ability to work as in a team, and to create complex products for world markets today. A lot of changes going on, concepts that you might be hearing about, the Internet of Things, 3D printing, robotics. All of these are having an influence on manufacturing and therefore has an influence on those that will work in manufacturing. Studies have shown that our ability to stay competitive in the United States will be in the information area, where we'll be using more complex machinery to develop products. That is going to require a different set of skills, and it will require post-secondary credentials. What does that mean? It means after high school. Not only will you have to have a high school degree, but some additional training, such as in community college or university. So that's the need from the manufacturing side. The other hat that I wear is the governor asked me to chair the State Workforce Investment Board. You may not be familiar with that group, but it was created by the legislature, and its purpose is to coordinate all workforce development, all activities regarding workforce in the state. We work through a lot of partners on the secondary level in the high schools. We also work with our community college allies and also in the institutions of higher learning. We're going to be encouraging the development of certificated skills set to industry standards. So if you get trained as a welder here in Mississippi, you can go anywhere in the United States and get a job as a welder. We're going to be looking at career readiness certificates. That means that you're prepared to be trained. Over 10 years ago, the State Workforce Investment Board created what's called the Workforce Enhancement Training Fund. And these are resources from the private sector. These are not public monies, because the private sector felt that the need for skilled workers was so critical that they needed to put resources into it. To date, after 10 years of funding this program, $200 million has gone directly to community colleges for training around the state. And we're going to continue to put additional resources from the private sector because this is such an important area. 2 years ago, we received a grant from the Department of Employment Security, and we reached out to Mississippi Public Broadcasting. And together we created a program called the Job Hunter Series. Some of you might have seen that on public broadcasting. And this was an effort to try to identify those areas in manufacturing where there were jobs, so that if you lived in Tupelo, you didn't have to move to the coast to get a job, or if you lived in Jackson, you didn't have to move to Meridian, that there were jobs all over the state. And it was a story told in a way that young people who had these jobs were telling the story about why it was important to get an education, what the benefits were to them to get these jobs at places like Viking and Caterpillar and Nissan and Toyota. A very important series, and if you haven't seen it, I would suggest to you to take a look at it. And it was a great partnership with Mississippi Public Broadcasting, because we brought together what the needs were from the business community and tied it in with their skills, with their great team, and it's a wonderful series that's being shown over and over again. Now, what we're going to continue to do is now develop a program that will reach out to all the high schools and grade schools in the state and will provide resources to young people like we have today here, those of you who are in high school. We'll give you some tools that you can take a look at what your career opportunities might be in the future. It might be in the healthcare area, it might be in manufacturing. But we're going to be working that across all of the state over a period of time. So let me just say this. There could not be a more important meeting than this meeting here today. This is an issue that is a tough issue. It's not unique to Mississippi. Other states are looking at the same issues. But we don't have anybody who we can afford to sit on the sidelines. We've got to have everybody up and working and moving forward in their careers in this state. The public sector and the private sector are working together in a partnership to make this happen, and certainly from the manufacturer's standpoint and from the State Workforce Investment Board standpoint, that is a part of the governor's office. We are deeply committed to what you are going to be talking about today. Make no mistake, as Mr. Agnew said, this is a tough situation, but it is the most important issue that we have to tackle today if we're going to be successful in the 21st century. So I commend all of you who are educators, who are here today. Your role is vital, absolutely essential. And for the young men and women who are here today, stay in school, get that education, and be a model for all the rest of your peers that you are in school with today. So thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Thanks so much, Jay. And I have the distinct honor and privilege of introducing our next speaker. And for the stimulation of our students, how many of you all know who that is? Maybe, we don't know. This young lady has done some great things and has represented Mississippi well in the Miss America competition. And she also is Miss Mississippi and the ambassador for MPB's American Graduate Initiative. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Jasmine Murray, Miss Mississippi 2014. And she'll also be giving us a special performance of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs burst that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free in the home of the brave.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much. It's absolutely a privilege and an honor to be here today, and I'm so excited to be working with Mississippi Public Broadcasting as a spokesperson for American Graduate. And I honestly have to say I think it's very fitting because of what the Miss America organization represents. It's actually the largest scholarship provider for women ages 18 in the United States, and I think that it's absolutely amazing and incredible to be a part of such an amazing organization. And representing this state as Miss Mississippi has been such a wonderful job and truly a great journey. I've been traveling all over the state of Mississippi the past few months, and it's been wonderful to be able to work with so many people and make so many amazing connections. And the past 2 days, we've actually been filming for American Graduate with MPB, and it's been so exciting and so much fun, and something that I've never done before. So I can't wait to see how everything turns out in the spring, and I know that some great things are going to come from it. So, you know, this organization has given me opportunities like this. Being a part of the Miss America organization has allowed me to stand before each of you today, and by the grace of God, I'm here. So I'm very, very thankful for that. I started out in this organization when I was 13 years old. I actually grew up watching my older sister compete in pageants, and I think that a lot of us have misconceptions about pageantry and what it's really about. But growing up watching my sister, I saw her give herself all day long to committing herself to service. And it wasn't about her at the end of the day. I saw her, of course, on stage in her beautiful gowns and everything, and I thought she was wonderful. But I saw that she cared about much more than that. She understood the importance of giving back, and she understood the importance of an education. And with America, Miss America being the largest scholarship provider, and with it being so focused on service, I think that this is very, very fitting. The two key platforms for the Miss America organization is actually STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and women, and the Children's Miracle Network, both of which I had the opportunity to work with very closely. If you're familiar with Batson Children's Hospital, they are Children's Miracle Network. We really work on promoting that and making sure that females understand that they are capable of being in these fields and that they can succeed in them. So it's really, really great to be able to promote that and to be a part of that. And also, with the Miss America organization, I have the opportunity to choose my own platform, and mine is called 13 Going on 30. I've been working with 13 Going on 30 since I was a teenager, and it really focuses on young teenage girls embracing their age and not growing up too fast. And I chose this platform because I feel like it's a problem that's really being overlooked in our society. And if you all are familiar with the movie, there's a young girl on her 13th birthday, and she wishes to be 30 and flirty and thriving, and the next morning she wakes up and she is. And so she's understanding that she is not ready to be a 30-year-old woman. She's not ready for the responsibility that comes with that. And so that's why I've dedicated my time into making sure that young girls today understand the importance of their youth, that they understand that this time is crucial and critical to the person that they want to become in the future, that they need to make smart decisions today. I think a lot of reasons why we want to grow up so fast, and I have to say that I was guilty of it. I wanted to be an adult when I was younger, and now I wish I could go back. But we all know that that can't happen. However, I want them to understand that you need to just wait. Take your time, because we have a lot of influence from the media telling us to act a certain way and dress a certain way. We have so much coming from our peers telling us you have to do this to fit in, and you can be this and you'll be cool. But honestly, that's not really how it is. And that leads to things like teenage pregnancy. It leads to students dropping out of school. It leads to eating disorders. And this is sad. This is very, very sad. And it's happening right now. It's happening everywhere. And I think that we need to pay close attention to things like this. So my solution to this problem has been through my own 13 going on 30 motivational camps. And I'm very excited about my motivational camps because I have the opportunity to invite girls from all over to basically come and just enjoy a day where they can talk to mentors about whatever it is they're going through. They listen to motivational speakers speak about different issues on choosing career paths to how to overcome adversity and just a wide range of things. And so I think that these girls really get a lot from it, and I have to say that I certainly have gained a lot from it as well, because I understand to be in this position, you have to be a role model for young girls everywhere. I was very fortunate enough to have 3 older sisters growing up and a wonderful mom, and she's here today, and I'm very thankful because they all inspired me. They've been my role models from the beginning, and I understand that everyone doesn't have that. And so if I can be that for someone else, then I am extremely grateful. And I want to be committed to it. I want to be determined to make sure that I can help someone else succeed and get to wherever it is that they want to be in this life. And I have to say that growing up, honestly, I didn't feel very smart. And you can ask my mom about this, but it's a funny story. I used to, my mom used to actually record my spelling words on a tape cassette so that I could hear them over and over again and learn how to spell. And so I understand what it's like to feel challenged in school, to feel like maybe sometimes you just can't do it, to feel like it's too tough. I think we've all been there, right? We've all taken tests and we've just said, wow, this is really hard. I don't know if I can do it. And so after I graduated from high school, I actually took off about 1.5 years to just commit my time to music, because music has always been a passion of mine, and I love to sing, and so I really want to continue to grow in that. So I took off about 1.5 years just to pursue that, and I decided to go back to college. I have been studying at Mississippi State University for the past 2 years in the broadcasting program, and I love it. But my first semester back in college, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, that 1.5 years really kind of hurt me a little bit, because you forget things. You forget just a lot of the stuff that you learned in high school. And so you have to reteach your brain how to learn. You have to understand everything all over again. So that was very, very challenging for me. There were times where I sat in class and I just didn't get it. I just didn't understand. And I didn't know how I was going to make it through that first semester. But I did. I ended up making it because I didn't give up. I understood that I was at Mississippi State University for a reason, and that it was a privilege to even have the opportunity to learn. There are so many children in other countries who don't have the opportunity to learn, and they wish they could. They wish they could go to school. They wish they could afford books. And we are so privileged to live in a place where we can do that freely, where so many of us can go to college, so many of us can go to high school and sit in a classroom and be taught so many amazing things. And I have to say that every single day, all of that can be gone tomorrow in the blink of an eye. But when you have that knowledge inside of you, no one can take that away. That's yours. You earned it, you learned it, you achieved it. No one can take that away from you, ever. And that's why it's so powerful. So with all of these problems, with all of these reasons why students drop out, that leads to things like them experiencing higher levels of unemployment, not being able to work, peer rejection, not feeling accepted because you don't have a diploma. It leads to a higher risk of incarceration. It leads to missed opportunities in life. Because when you're in school, you have the opportunity to engage in so much more than sometimes you can even imagine. For me, school was not only a place to just learn the fundamentals of life and facts and data, but that was my place where I was involved in almost every organization I could possibly get my hands on. I was in choir, I was in band, I was in just everything I could possibly do in school because I wanted to be better. And music was at the forefront of my mind always. So I was probably in just about every choir you could imagine in school. And my mom also helped me to understand that when you're involved in something, you're also less likely to get in trouble. So it's good to be able to make sure you're getting involved when you're in school. So if you drop out, and if you don't get those opportunities, you miss out on a lot in life. If I hadn't had that time to study my music, I graduated from the Mississippi School of the Arts. So that's all I wanted to do was learn more about music. If I hadn't had that opportunity, if I'd missed that opportunity, I don't think I'd be here today. I'm not right here in front of you today. So those opportunities help make you into the person that you're destined to be. So you don't realize there's so much at risk when you don't appreciate and when you don't give your full time and effort into something that might seem hard at the moment, but it does get better. It might not always get easier, but you can get better at it. You can beat it. So I think that in knowing those negative impacts, knowing those problems, how are we going to go about this? What are our solutions going to be? How are we going to convince students to stay in school? Because it's hard with all of those things that I just said. But I think that one approach is through education, motivation. I think educating students on the importance of getting an education is pretty good. I think that students need to understand the value of an education. Like I said earlier, there are so many children that want to go to school, who want to learn. Imagine not being able to read or write. Just imagine that for a moment, not being able to read or write. Do you realize how different everything would be? We would not be able to communicate the way we do. We wouldn't be able to understand the world the way that we do. So many things would be different if we weren't given that opportunity to learn. I think we also need to build relationships with our students as teachers. We need to make sure they understand that school is a place where students can be accepted, where they're loved, where teachers care about them. They care about them succeeding. I think that creates an entirely different environment because I've had so many teachers in my lifetime who've inspired me to get to this point. And if they hadn't cared, if they hadn't taken out the time to get to know me and understand what I was going through at the moment, or how I learn, or why I am the way I am, my education could have been different. So I'm so thankful for those teachers who were there for me. They challenged me, but they took out the time to get to know me. And I have to say, in particular, my music teacher at the Mississippi School of the Arts, Dr. Rice, he actually, well, the Mississippi School of the Arts is a very small school, you have to understand. So we got a lot of one-on-one individual attention. So that was amazing because I got to sit and work with my teacher one-on-one on music and songs. So he knew what my voice type was. He understood what types of songs I could sing and what types I couldn't, because he took out the time to listen and to get to know me and to understand what type of music I even liked. That's very important when you feel like a teacher understands you and that they care about you. That's going to be one way that we can really help our students stay motivated about school, to stay educated. And finding mentors. I think mentoring is one of the best opportunities for kids because you need someone you can look up to. You need someone to take you under their wings and to help guide you down the path of success. It's not easy, but finding someone who will take out that time is crucial. And I know there are mentoring programs, there are after-school programs. Find those programs. Find those people who want to help you. They are out there. And be those people. Be those mentors for younger people, for your younger brothers and sisters, so that they know they have someone else who cares for them. And also find what you're good at. When you're in school, like I said, you have the opportunity to get involved in something. And so it can be absolutely anything. But when you find what you're good at, when you focus all of your attention onto that, somehow all the negativity finds its way out. Even if you don't feel like you belong, even if you don't feel accepted sometimes, finding what you love to do can make all of those things just disappear, into where you devote all of your time and passion into that. So you're so motivated to go to school, even if it's just to go to math class, right? Or even if it's just to go to choir or anything. When you keep going, you develop a passion for it. You develop that love for it because you don't give up. And you have to do it anyway. So you might as well just learn to like it. And I think we just need to continue to encourage our students, build them up. We don't understand and we don't know everyone's backgrounds. We don't know what they're facing at home. We don't know what their personal life is like. So when they come to school, let that be a place of encouragement, of love, somewhere they feel like they can turn to you because you want them to succeed, you want them to learn, and you want them to be the best person they can be. We have to do that. We have to make sure we're encouraging our young people to stay in school, not just saying stay in school, but letting them see the benefits of it, letting them see the opportunities that they can have, the jobs, the relationships, the connections they can build with others. There are so many opportunities from an education. It's massive, and we don't even realize it when we're young. But that's the time where we grow. That's the time where we become the person for the future. So, knowledge again is power. No one can take it away from you. No one can steal it. And it can empower you to be something you never dreamed of. I have to say, I'm so thankful for the opportunity to learn, to be in a country where it's valued, where I can apply for loans if I can't afford it, where I can get scholarships from competing in a pageant, where I have support around me and people who want to see me succeed. I want all of you to succeed, and you can and you will. So go out there and give everything the best that you can. When you're in school, be there, be present, be in the moment. Understand what a privilege it is to be in a classroom, because it really is. If we were to travel to other countries and see the difficulties they face, we would be amazed. We really would. We're very, very blessed here. So we have to realize how blessed we are and how much appreciation we have to have for education, for life itself. You all have a purpose, each and every one of you. We were all designed for a purpose. I believe that in my heart. But we have to find that purpose. And it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. Sometimes we know and sometimes it just takes a while for us to find out what it is. But whatever your purpose is, be completely consumed with it. Give everything you got into it, if you know what that is, and when you find out what it is, give everything you've got into that purpose, into fulfilling it, into making sure that you're the best person you can be. So learn, take every opportunity you can to learn. You're never too old to learn either. I met a woman the other day. She was 82 years old, and she graduated from college 4 years ago. That's phenomenal. I struggled at 20 my first semester. So looking at someone, that's an inspiration right there. So you're never too old to learn. You never know enough, honestly. You can never know enough. No matter how much knowledge you have, there's always more that can be learned. So realize what a blessing it is. Appreciate every moment that you have to learn, not only in school, but even in life. We have experiences where we can learn so much and take those experiences with us to the next level in our lives. So learn, live, educate yourselves, and succeed in all that you do. And graduate. Thank you.
Can we give her another round of applause? And at this time, for those who were extremely concerned about the time, we are back on schedule and on track, so we would like to dismiss those who are leading our breakout sessions to actually go to your respective locations. And then also, I've seen some tweets come through using that hashtag MPBAmGrad, and I would like to let you know that I am offering a prize to the person with the most related tweets on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook that use the hashtag MPBAmGrad. Can you get that? So MPBAmGrad, use it as you go to these sessions. Students, you will be remaining in here. You will have a session that will be led by Deanna Jenkins from MPB, along with the Can I Kick It crew, Jada Bell and the rest of those, along with Miss Mississippi 2014. And the adults, we'd like for you to go to the other 5 breakout sessions. So those will be beginning at about 10:20. You can stop by the exhibitors area on your way to those sessions. But again, students, you will remain in the auditorium. Thank you.